Hippos are among the most well-known animals. African wildlife, because of their many individuals, believe they are awkward and even humorous, but these aren't that amusing. They are able to ferociously create monsters, killing antelopes, zebras, rhinos, and buffalo. Sharks and even crocodiles are interesting. Look, this episode will explain why. African hippos are the most hazardous herbivores and receive numerous beneficial benefits. Intriguing details regarding these giants. Go ahead. The hippo is a very hazardous animal. It should be referred to as the threat to Africa. It's unexpected that despite all of its violent behavior and repeated assaults on people and animals, the hippo is typically regarded as an omnivorous animal. However, this is not totally accurate. Based on the most recent classification, scientists refer to the hippo as a potential predator. It sort of consumes grass. However, if an opportunity arises, it won't matter. A few of meat chunks here is the initial evidence from a few years ago. Tourists recorded a violent event in Southeast Asia, a hippo approaching a kudu that is swimming and clenched it in its teeth. Considering the length of a hippo's fangs, it's 25 inches and even longer. It is hardly shocking that the antelope moved rapidly. The body was pulled by the hippo to the shore. Wished to eat it, but the African refused. Wild dogs stopped it before the group grabbed the prey of hippos, snacked, and tucked it away in the bushes. And now for a more blatant illustration. Kruger National Park has a hippo munching was captured on rare video. The meat of a creature that was a prey zebra. It is unknown if the hippo, whether it was finished off by itself already deceased when the big arrived, but now that we can see we know hippopotamuses won't give up. Continue sometimes, but they almost seldom turn, preferring grass to meat toward predators. In this video, an antelope may be seen. Again, these animals from Africa are the most. It's sad that they are constantly being pursued. The antelope was pursued this time by black wild dogs. The unfortunate creature ran away from them. Ascended a little island into the pond center, but a crocodile had begun to stake a claim to the antelope. The predator avoided the antelope, entered the water, then swam toward the coast. Despite the crocodile's quick pursuit, a hippo showed up. A crocodile seized an antelope and a hippos, attacked it before the trio dove into the ocean. The hippo surfaced a short while afterwards. No additional antelope or reptiles could be seen. What the hippo was after remains a mystery. Either it desired to consume the antelope as food, it either desired to save it, but evidently as a result, the reptile gained. The delicate hippo may have had good intentions, but saved the antelope from these giants. Aptly referred to as defenders of the savannah, and despite their erratic behavior and predatory nature, they frequently approach the helping those in need is something they actually do, not out of goodwill and generosity, but solely to keep predators away from their territory. However, they frequently do so inadvertently. Save helpless animals here. A crocodile is riding an antelope. Again, the herbivore was securely grasped by the reptile and hauled it into the water by the paw. The argument went on for a while, and antelope had already sustained damage, worn out, when suddenly, at last moments afterwards, two hippos rescued it. The 4 tons of giants followed to save the antelope by driving the crocodile away. Despite doing a terrific job, it didn't work out. Very much a roll. Most likely, the antelope passed away quickly. It has previously undergone a very traumatic hurt that almost prevented it from happening. It couldn't possibly defend itself against the predators of the savannah. General cows, crocodiles, and hippos possess a tense relationship, frequently need to share the same due to the fact that hippopotamuses spending time in crocodile-inhabited waters. Crocodiles and hippos are both neighbors that have an extremely bad relationship. It takes many distinct forms. Ways, for instance, hippos determined in this instance to demonstrate a lesson to crocodiles by taking their prey away. A herd of cows arrived at the watering well, and the crocodiles replied right away. In response to their bells ringing, 3 reptiles moved in the direction of the cows. One of the cows exhibited negligence, and it was swiftly seized by the crocodile, and it appears like they dragged it under the water. Dinner has been served, but it wasn't simple. Soon, 2 hippos appeared on the scene. They deliberately chased after the waterway with crocodiles and their prey, protecting the cow from predators, similar to how it is with the antelope. Uncertain if the hippos desired to saving the cow or eating it doesn't matter. I'm sure they both succeeded in destroying supper for the crocodile. Rhino. Another enormous African animal is the rhino. Hippopotamus and rhinoceros are comparable and both are enormous in many respects. Both are herbivores and have a complicated character. However, hippos possess a modest advantage. In my reverence for these beings is greater, more dangerous than rhinos, and occasionally even attempt to rival them. The rhino in this video went too near to the hippo's preferred body is their territory. The water. The hippo's characteristic mouth was opened, having 36 pointed teeth, letting the beasts are where to leave as soon as possible. The rhinoceros was not persuaded by this and sacrificed its life when the hippo emerged from the water, accompanied by its kin. They started to scuffle with the rhino. One of the hippos lowered its enormous fangs. Their wit and the rhino's sharpness. The hippo's jaws have sufficient strength to even attempt to pierce such an armored vehicle like the rhino. Soon, both the rhino and the hippo fell, completed it in the water. Opposed to buffalo. The third large herbivore in Africa is the buffalo. It's pretty similar to the hippo and the rhino, aggressive, big, and risky, but the hippo is significantly more combative and powerful. The hippo can be seen in this video. The buffalo beside the river was encountered. The hippo did not enjoy the interaction. As in the case of the enormous rhinoceros, opened its mouth and started to frighten the buffalo. Reportedly enjoys hints are not understood by rhinos. Consequently, the hippo had to take action and chase the obnoxious beast away from its territory. The hippo drove the buffalo to the ground. Only then did it know that it had interfered with the incorrect party. The buffalo had more intelligence than the rhino. No more of the preceding video was shown to fight and fled in order to save its life. Rhinoceros and buffaloes are undoubtedly worthy rivals, but hippos must something more resilient, like a true predator such as a crocodile. As I've already demonstrated, crocodiles obtain their food by stealing it from them, but let's now consider the single person setting. The hippo approached the crocodile from behind in the water and began prodding it. With its enormous head, it is evident that the reptile does not really want to fight, but decides to swim away. The hippo persists in sticking its tongue out. It swims further and arrives near the crocodile. The longer it pursues it, leaving it no time to rest. Even after the crocodile emerges from the hippo doesn't cross the pond's dry land. Let up, it keeps bugging it on land. Maybe if that hippo was biting, only desired to attack the crocodile or have some understanding of its neighbor in the pond, although occasionally hippos engage in actual ferocious crocodile battles. This crocodile made a terrible error in judgment, dipping a toe into a body of water. Numerous hippos were sleeping. The herbivores obviously didn't like the invader and chose to give it a lesson. They used it whatever they pleased. Biting, stomping, tossing, and crushing the crocodile was only saved by a miracle, able to endure the embarrassment and at least manage to avoid the giant's bloat. The photographer of this video said that video speculates, but perhaps the crocodile was killed in the attack, and it was never able to leave that body of water. Lions and crocodiles both possess a trip to see the hippos. The jungle's kings are some of the most incredible predators in Africa, including they hardly ever attack, have little fear, although occasionally they do bother the hippos. A lioness can be seen in this video. It walked up to a sleeping hippo and poked the giant, rousing it with its muzzle. Instantly, hippo wouldn't put up with such behavior, running after the lioness and took hold of its head. The head of the lioness would not have survived. The hippo would have acted immediately if it like a watermelon and squeezed it, but after some time, the lioness bit the hippo's mouth and it temporarily relaxed its hold. Second, this was sufficient for the predator to escape and eluded. The most hazardous and African herbivore hippos can be referred to as not just both herbivores and freshwater creatures because they were in there a lot. Rivers and ponds there, they determined not only with sharks as well as crocodiles, although it seems unlikely. This is the truth. Truth be told, there is an extraordinary tiger shark in contrast to its relatives. This predator swims not just in the seas and oceans full of salt, yet in freshwater rivers as well. News is not good for people who enjoy visiting the although hippos don't mind even such a river threatening neighbors. In this video, bull sharks are seen swimming up Evidently, it desired to give to the hippo family. To sneak up on one of the giants and assault him, but erred in judgment and simply hid, having its head. The animals were furious about this, and hippos choose to instruct the arrogant, created a lecture and attempted to strike. The shark became aware of its error, rushed to avoid the deadly men. Abandon the area. From all of the earlier videos, you recognize that hippos are incredibly sociable. They hold each other and dwell in bloats. Conflicts arise on any team, nevertheless, and hippos are no different. They occasionally clash with one another, and they carry it out mercilessly. Here is an illustration of a normal fight between two hippo males. As can be seen, everything boils down to their wide tongues pressed together. It could appear that hippos are fun-loving or kissing, however, that is how they resolve issues with one another. It's crucial to keep the door open. Mouth. The one which mouths very firmly slips will be the first to be penetrated by fangs. Hippos depart the area following a battle. There have been injuries on the battlefield presently, yet typically such conflicts result in one person's death among the men. Lastly, let's consider at least one human. A single hippo attacking a person. Hippos, not crocodiles, are regarded as the most hazardous huge African animals used as food. Based at least on these statistics, say each year, hippos kill at least 500 or more persons. Crocodiles kill around half as many people as the same time frame. Thankfully, there were no victims in this video nonetheless. Not without harm. A motorist was traveling down a road in South Africa's Kruger National Park, as well as ran into a barrier with a nearby hippo. A highway shoulder. The animal fled as the car drew near toward it, ramming the hood hard. The vehicle in shock. The driver cried that he was on the cusp of death. It was fortunate that he hadn't hurt himself, but consider how his automobile turned out. That could only have been done by a true monster type of harm. Now that you know why this particular, the most hazardous herbivore, is a beast. Africa. All right, fellas. Do you want to view hippos up close? Please let me know in the comments. Seeing you later while you watch.